Morning, friends. Pastor Chuck Blair here. Great to have you joining me this morning. And we're going to take another look at worry. And this is a little tangent to what we've been talking about here with Noah and the Ark. And it comes back to a thing I was thinking about yesterday. Yesterday, we had a service at New Church Live on worry. You're more than welcome, obviously, to go back and watch it archived. And it was an insight someone had that I really thought was worthwhile to share and kind of highlight in and of itself. And it gets down to this question: what does worry want? What does worry desire? What is worry after? Which is a pretty big question. So there's this beautiful line often quoted in the Bible that says, "Don't fret; it only brings harm." In other words, don't worry, and it's only going to be harmful to worry. And we have to understand that there's the worry and there's the content, and we have to be able to divide the two. That worry is probably the same worry with you you've been carrying with you most of your life, even though the content over here has changed. So the worry is still the same as an emotion, but the content just kind of flips out depending on what our worry for the day is. And that's real important to remember. And you just sort of, I worry a lot, right? I think a lot of people do. Just call a little timeout. Here's the worry, and here's the content. The content's just the content. That's it. Worry, though, has a way of spinning the content into forms that can rapidly become unmanageable. And again, as I said yesterday, it doesn't mean that there aren't things worthy of worrying about. I think clearly there are, and no matter how much I think we would love to all think that we can just sort of click off the light switch and be done with worry. Like I don't think that's how it works. I don't think that's how most of spiritual life works. It's sort of one step at a time, and this slowly letting go. And what I wanted to talk about specifically with that is in terms of what does worry want is you think about the agenda of worry. And if you really follow through on your own particular worries that you're harboring today, and just think for yourself, what is the agenda of that worry? And just notice how the worry grabs hold of the content for the day, whatever that might be. And what it does is that it pulls that out into the worst possible scenario. Now, as we said, sometimes those really bad scenarios do happen. So I don't want to pretend that somehow, the spiritual life is about avoiding all the really hard stuff. That's not necessarily true. But it is interesting watching how that's if I was to draw an arc of worry, the arc always bends down. It always bends down towards more and more catastrophizing, which is such a great word. It's always bending down towards catastrophizing. It's always bending away from problem solving. I want to say that again. It bends down towards catastrophizing, which means it's going to bend down consistently away from problem solving. Very rarely does worry actually yield, an effective response in terms of solving what the challenges in life are. And the challenges are going to be inevitable. I know I had one person who worked for us here at New Church Live, and it had brought many gifts to the job, and he's since retired from it. But the thing he always used to say, which I just loved, it just brought me so much peace, was just, "Oh, we'll figure it out." When we started New Church Live, there were lots of new technology. I mean, it's hard to believe, New Church Live. Um, we sort of came right about the time the iPhone hit, and which is, again, I feel like we started yesterday, but the rapid pace of smartphones and everything changed a whole lot of things. When we first started, technology was a bear. It was not easy to get sort of a handle on it 14 years ago, coming on 15 years ago. And and since then we've really had to continually evolve and continually try to figure things out. Worry tends to be far more paralyzing than that. And maybe it's a little like guilt, folks. I remember hearing somebody saying, which again, you can take all this stuff too far. So I just want to be clear about that. But he had said, you get to feel guilt for 90 seconds, and then it's time to move on. In other words, guilt plays a role, but don't live there. And maybe it's the same we can say of worry. Like worry plays a role, but don't live there. Don't live in that place. And just when you notice that, again, it's bending away from problem solving and into catastrophizing, that's where to, big time out there and really think through. Okay, so here's the content, here's the worry. Here's the content, here's the worry. What can I do just about the content? That's your job, is to work on the content. If you work on the content, probably the worry will dissipate at least a bit. So I don't want that to be overly simplistic, but it is something worthwhile to think about, folks, because boy, I'm looking outside. It's a beautiful day. I'm thinking about that beautiful quote. Today's the day the Lord has made. We'll rejoice and be glad in it. I think that's the ultimate of worry. The ultimate counter to worry. That idea that there is a beautiful world out there. Our job is to be glad in it. We rejoice and be glad in it. Glad in what is right in front of us, and that oftentimes should not include worry. Just saying. So, folks, I hope that makes a lot of sense to you. And again, wishing you a great week ahead, and yeah, all the very best. I hope you had a great day last night or a great evening last night as well. And with that, what we're going to do is we're going to go through now. We're going to do a little meditation, a little prayer, a little blessing. We'll say hi to folks on social media. So with that, friends, let's all get a little breath. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know that I. Be still and know that. Be still and know. Be still and. Be still. Be. Our Father, who art in the heavens, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, as in heaven, so upon the earth. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we also forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord make his face to shine upon you and be gracious unto you. May the Lord lift up his countenance upon you, bring you peace, bring you home. Amen. All right, friends, let's give a little cheery hello to folks here. Hop onto the. Oops, sorry, wrong thing there. And, to all you Kansas City Chiefs fans, congratulations. That was quite a fun game last night. To all your Eagles fans, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see what next year yields. But it sure was fun. I have a friend of mine who consistently says, when the game doesn't go your way, just remember that the game won. And I thought football won last night. That's for sure. All right, friends, let's say good morning to folks here. Linda, good morning to you, and I hope you're doing well. Paige, good morning. Hope you're doing great. Sherry writes, forget not all his benefits. Forget not all his benefits. It's just so true, and gratitude, just so interesting. I don't know, and I overstate it probably way too much, but it's one of those. There's those little things as in my line of work that just keep on surprising, and one is gratitude. It's a little like WD-40. It seems to work on just about everything. Melissa, good morning to you. Happy Monday. Thank you for this beautiful thought for the week. You are welcome. And thank you for joining us. And now on to, let's take a quick look over here to our friends over here on my page. Patricia, great to see you joining us this morning. I hope you're doing well. Kim, good morning to you. Sherry, good morning to you as well. Lynn, good morning. And it looks like you guys had a fun Super Bowl party last night. Marcus, good morning. Hope you're doing well, and great job as always yesterday. Um, Linda writes, last night was good. It would have been better if the Eagles had won. They did have a good season. Certainly very, very, very true. Um, And then Tina writes, "Thank you for your service yesterday about worrying. I really needed that, and it is something to think about, folks. Like it just like I get torn about worry, right? Because I get torn because it seems like such a natural human emotion. I don't know whether we're ever able to um, opt out of it. And I know that personally, and I know other people too, we become consumed by it, and that doesn't seem the right answer either. So how do we find that mix? And that's really what we're trying to do. We're trying to do yesterday, maybe trying a little way to do today is find a better way to hold it. So hopefully folks have a better way of holding worry today, and just God bless. Have a terrific day. Take care. Bye bye.